Williams returns for the MECathletics.
Overall reaction to the finish? I was proud of my team. They put themselves in a position to win the game in the end of the game. Give credit to Staten Island. They did a good job of pressuring Javon and Winston. So we had to call a timeout with 3.5 seconds to go. The play took a little bit that we wanted a little bit too long to develop. Thankfully, we had a timeout. And I thought we drew up a pretty good play for the last play. Staten Island defended it well. But, you know, with Javon catching the ball 2 steps behind the three-point line with 3.5 seconds to go, he has a good chance to make a play right there. And the last play, hey, if you're a Mega fan, you think Javon got fouled. If you're a CSI fan, you don't think he got fouled. That's how it goes.
Like he bobbled it momentarily, then gained control.
I think he bobbled it because somebody had a nice chunk of his forearm. But, you know, that's you know, there's a lot of reasons why the game came down to that last play. A lot of things mistakes we made for all 40 minutes. But like I said, my kids fight. As you can see, these guys, you know, they put themselves in position to give themselves a chance to win the game, and that's all you can ask. Staten Island's a great team. They've dominated the conference all year long. And I remember these guys blew us out at their place on January 4th, and I basically told my team in the locker room after the game, I said, nobody's going to beat them but us. So we have to build between now and February 25th. And, you know, these guys are all the turnover on our roster in the last month and a half. Is incredible what these guys have accomplished. Basically, the only 2 guys with any kind of experience on this team you just saw on the floor there. As you can see, we have no seniors, so if these guys take care of their business off the court, we can come back next year very strong.
Next question.
As the clock was running down and things weren't developing, you were obviously hoping that something would develop.
Yeah. Well, what happens is Staten Island is a very good team. I thought we had a better chance of scoring if we didn't call time and give them a chance to set up, because I know Tony's very good at strategizing, and you saw the last play, they did a great job of switching all the, we set about 3 or 4 different screens. They did a good job of switching on them, so I thought our chances were actually better scoring, right, without giving them a chance to set up their defense. Because we were, in the last 8 minutes of the game, nobody really stopping anybody. I mean, incredible game for the fans. You saw a clutch shot after clutch shot. So both teams, I mean, it was a tremendous game. That's one of the better games you're going to see at the Division III level, period. That was an awesome game to be a part of.
Coach, if I may, I thought the turning point of the ball game was when Malcolm Ellis fouled out prior to that last 3 seconds. Because I think once he was in the game, these 2 gentlemen your team started to go. When he fouled out,
what happens is when we put Malcolm in, take our big guy Val Williams out and go small, it presents problems for teams now because we spread the floor. And now when these guys drive, that's a shooter in the corner as opposed to Val Williams, a big freshman who's not, you know, it's not pressure on teams. It puts pressure on, and CSI is a very good team. They're very help oriented. So when Javon, Winston, Brian Johnson drives, it's a big difference between, you know, you have a shooter in the corner as opposed to a big guy that's young and really, you know, it's a big game. And Malcolm, although he's a freshman, the kid's a shooter and he's not afraid. He has a lot of moxie. I thought he did a good job of pressuring Tibbs. You're not going to stop him, but I thought he did a good job. And he's a guy you can see on his last foul. He can lead the break and make a great pass too. Tough call there, you know. But that's the game. I thought he made a great play, great pass. So, you know, that's.
How do you what do you see in Tibbs, his performance and his difficulties with
The difficult thing about TJ is you have to play him for the whole 35 seconds of the shot clock. I saw, you know, about 4 or 5 times today, we seemed like we had him bottled up for 30, 32 seconds. and he splits a trap and he gets off a floater, or he gets somebody a pass inside, or like I said, at the very least, he gets up a shot, whereas a big guy has to come over and help, and maybe Young or somebody gets the rebound. But we've known TJ for 2 years, and you're not going to stop that guy. We had to make a choice today, and we decided we wanted to make TJ a scorer today. We didn't want TJ to have 20 points and 15 assists, and everybody else have 15, 20 points. But as you saw today, like I said, in my opinion today, you had probably, and no offense to any of the other teams that were voting for all conference, I think you had probably the 5 or 6 best players in the league on the floor today. You had Tibbs, Young, Lucci, and you had these 2 guys. And you have Brian Johnson, who, if he played the full year, had a good chance to be freshman of the year also. So I think today the amount of talent on the floor was incredible. And the 3 years I've been here, the one thing I say about this league, it's gotten better and better every year. You saw by the quality of the game today. Staten Island is going to be a very formidable opponent in the NCAA tournament. As we felt, if we would have won today, I still felt Staten Island with their resume should also get an NCAA berth, because they've been very impressive this year. And both teams went out and played very tough schedule this year and did very well, had some nice wins. So, but Staten Island has been the most consistent team this year, and they did just enough to win today. So give them the credit. My guys have nothing to be ashamed of. They played their hearts out, and that's how the basketball bounces. We have everybody back potentially. We'll get better from this.
I hate to go back again, but the last play, if you could draw it up in the perfect scenario, what were
we had 2 simultaneous screens. We had Winston trying to come around on the baseline, and we had Javon coming off a down screen, hopefully catching the ball in the top of the key foul line area. And I told these 2 guys, either one of these guys with the ball in their hands, him on the short porch, him at the foul line, top of the key area, 3.5 seconds more than enough time for those guys to make a play. Unfortunately, Staten Island defended it well. They denied Winston, and they made Javon catch it out a little bit further than we liked, but Javon still had enough time to get a good shot.
in the previous sequence
in the previous sequence, we were trying to go 2-man game on the right side with Javon and Winston. We were trying to put Javon in the post, throw the ball to Javon, and put Winston on his side. If they doubled, we have Winston out there ready to shoot, or if Winston man's doubled, he was going to go cut down the middle back door. But they defended it well. They made it really difficult to get the ball into Javon's hand in the post. And thankfully, we had a timeout, which is another reason why I didn't call a timeout, because in that situation, you want to have a timeout in your pocket also, which is why I didn't call a timeout prior to that. Thankfully, actually, I think CSI called a timeout, so that saved us having to call a timeout. But, as you can see all game long, I trust the ball. I trust these guys with the ball in their hands. All we talk about really on offense is to see the floor, make good decisions. And for the most part tonight, I thought these guys were great with that. 81 points is more than enough for us to win the game. Our defense wasn't as great as we'd like it to be tonight, but you have to give Staten Island credit. I mean, Lucci, Tibbs, they made some shots. I think Dale Toronto made 2 huge shots in the last couple minutes of the game. So sometimes you got to tip your hat to the other team. We did everything we wanted to do. They made some tough shots.
You have rebounded them by nearly 20. Do you expect to lose a game like that?
I don't know, but I'm pretty sure that the difference was at the 3-point line today. We gave up way too many 3-point shots. That's what we wanted to talk about. We talked about getting Lucci and Tibbs off the 3-point line. And the special thing about those 2 guys, you could be close to them. If they can get the ball up, they're going to make it. And those guys don't have to be on the line to make shots. Those guys have NBA range. A couple times today, they made some shots. You just got to say, that's a good shot. A couple times, unfortunately, I was disappointed in transition. We lost them. Those are the ones that really annoy me. The ones they make with a guy in their face, a hand in their face, got to tip their hat to them. But the ones where we lose them in transition, I think one time they got a rebound, threw it out, he missed it. They got a rebound, threw it out, and still nobody was near him. So we had a couple communication breakdowns today that hurt us. And not even at the end of the game, in the first half. We gave up and everything comes back to haunt you. We gave up a 3 at the buzzer at halftime. It comes back. That's the difference in the game. We didn't communicate. Everybody backed up. We let them dribble up and hit a 3 right before halftime. And we ended up losing by 1 point.
What happened?
I don't know, that's made me getting the ball. Coach, like you said, Coach drew up a play for me to get the ball at the top of the key and Winston to come off at the baseline simultaneously. he forced me to catch the ball a little bit further out than I wanted to. And I fumbled the ball at first. In my opinion, I thought I got fouled, and then I gathered myself and I looked up, I started to see about 3 seconds left, and I decided to make a move to go. I mean, Tiz, he guarded me well. At the end of the day, like Coach said, if you're a Mega fan, you would think it's a foul. If you're CSI, you think it was well guarded. And at that, with 3 seconds left in the game, I don't think the ref would like to make that call. So that's something I will keep in mind throughout this whole summer, and I will use that as my fuel to get better and to get back here next year.
Coach, if I may, I've been watching your program the last 2 years, and I've watched your last 3 games from Lehman, York, and today. And Devon, you had 8 turnovers. What was the cause of that? Because games I've watched, first 2 games prior to this one, everything was okay. Mega was having 19 turnovers and losing the game by 1. Everybody can talk about the last play. And I think the credit has to go to your staff and your team that are playing with 7, 8 guys all year, academic situations, injuries, and so forth, whatever, and still have the chance of winning with 3.5 seconds to go.
In all honesty, it doesn't matter what level, junior high, high school, college, pros, the guys that have the ball in your hands the most of the team, they're going to have the most of the turnovers. I encourage my guys to be aggressive with the ball. Today, once again, Staten Island, they have guys that can really pressure the ball. They're very savvy. And once again, these two teams have played each other a lot in the last year and a half. They know each other well. We know tendencies. We know what they like to do. They know what we like to do. So it's not a lot of secrets between these two teams. That's why it was just a great game. And we also encourage our guys being aggressive. So when we're aggressive, you're gonna have some turnovers. So that's part of the game. We'd like to limit them.
All right. ECAC is coming up, but what's the chances?
I mean, our overall record is 17-11, but if you look at some of the non-conference wins we've had, right now we've beaten the number 14 and number 15 team in the country. That's currently ranked 14 and 15. We played, I think, about 6 teams that either were in the NCAAs last year, have a good chance of being in the NCAAs. So our resume is very good. I think my only worry is people look at 17 and 11, and hopefully who's ever making this decision, they see how we ended the season. And they have an idea what kind of quality team we have, and I do like our chances in the ECACs to make some noise.
Mindset for the ECACs.
Like I said, the tough thing about it is a quick turnaround. If we do get elected, it's Wednesday. We'll take tomorrow off, and we'll come in Monday and Tuesday. We'll find out who we have to play, and we'll approach it as an opportunity to get better, to start getting better for next year. We have a lot of freshmen and sophomores who didn't experience situations like this, so anytime they can play in high-pressure elimination games, it's only going to help us down the line.